Hello everyone, welcome to another video with HaiderMedcussions, and today the topic of our discussion will be a potential viral blocker. We got this study from Japan, which is known as Camostat Mesylate. So we will see that how this potential viral blocker is working against the spread, or you can say the infection or infectivity of coronavirus COVID-19, which is known as. And first of all, before that, we have to ponder upon that what are the ways from which the virus is being spreaded. So according to the CDC, they say that the main way of spread is through the droplet. Like if you are in contact with a person who is COVID-19 positive and he is coughing in front of you, or he's talking, or he's laughing, or he's doing anything which let his or her droplets come out of the mouth and make a less than 6 feet contact with your mouth or your areas which are exposed in front of those droplets, you can have COVID-19. But they have said this astonishing statement, which is not much astonishing but surprising, more surprising, that no easy ways of spread in other ways are like touching surfaces. CDC says that if you are touching the surfaces, it is not included in the you can say this pandemic spread of that. That's why we disagree that how. Like for example, if someone has COVID-19 and he has the, you can say, the secretions, his secretions are fallen on a surface and you touch those infected secretions on that surface, so it can spread to you. Another thing, they say that from and to your animals, it cannot be spreaded. How? For example, like the same thing, if there is someone who have, because in the underdeveloping countries there are not much restrictions on the rules in spitting on the floor, in spitting outside, or coughing in front of anyone in the public and that thing. So it can spread from your animals to you. And from the blood transfusion, one of my colleague, or you can say a senior of mine, he said that according to his researches, that the blood transfusion does not play a role in infection from person to person. Means if you are giving an infected person's blood to another person, it is not, you can say, more vulnerable to spread. Which I disagree at some instance, because you see HIV, it is spread from a certain way, though it is not a respiratory tract virus or respiratory tract infection it causes, but HIV is spread through some certain ways. But for the respiratory tract virus, the end stage of it is viremia, because it goes to your respiratory tract, there it causes infection, then it enters your bloodstream, it causes viremia, which leads to septic shock and death. So viremia is the state in which there is a lot of infectivity within your blood, a lot of virus load or viral load within your blood. So that's why. But still, some of the discussions, some of the researches are to be done further, and I hope the next video we made will be especially on this, that are the blood transfusions from infected person to the healthy person are safe in this pandemic. So now we have to see the droplet and aerosol spray, or aerosol spread from that they say that droplet, because the droplet is having a high molecular weight, so if it is infected, it's stuck into your respiratory ways and it causes upper respiratory tract infections. And CDC says that from the aerosol it does not spread, but you see the viral size, that how much is the size of virus. You cannot see from the naked eye, even it's hard to see it from the microscope. So that's why RT-PCR is being used to check either COVID is positive or negative. And for the developed countries, highly assembled labs are being used to see the viral activity in mice, in rabbits, in other animals. All the researches are going on. So for the aerosol and the droplets spread, aerosol is 5 nanometer. It is a 5 nanometer particle, even more than a virus size. So they stay suspended in the air for hours. So aerosol, from the aerosol spread, these viruses can suspend in the air from 4 to 5 hours. So if there is an infected person in your clinic and he has coughed there, so the most probable or vulnerable chance is that the viral may suspend in the air for half an hour or 1 hour. So we also have to sanitize that environment too. So let's come to the Camostat Mesylate. So this drug was used from 1985 in Japan, and we have got the studies about Camostat Mesylate. It is actually a TMPRSS2 blocker. So what is TMPRSS2? I hope I don't use more technical terms for you people, those who are not related to medical sciences, but we are making this for all those who are able to understand some sort of the things which we often discuss in doctors and in the clinicians. So what is TMPRSS2? It is a transmembrane protease serine based S2 receptor, S2 enzyme more probably you can say. Because if you see a normal physiology of COVID entering into the S2 receptors, for its entering we need this enzyme. This enzyme splices the protein of COVID and let it come inside, or let its viral RNA or the viral proteins fuse with the membrane and go into the cell and make it more infective. So this enzyme, it primers, actually the term is priming. So I am just using splicing, or you can say alteration, like we do alteration of the cars so they look more beautiful. That's the same thing, this enzyme TMPRSS2 transmembrane protease serine based S2 enzyme, it splice or it do the priming of the proteins, especially S2 proteins, and let the viral load or let the viral RNA come inside the cell. So we have to see that this is the actual process of Camostat Mesylate, or you can say Camostat Mesylate, not chemostat. And this is the TMPRSS2. It is the enzyme which is necessary to cut out the spike proteins. So it is actually known as priming. So about the Camostat Mesylate, we have been very much happy that it reduces the mortality rate from 100% to 35%, or from 35% to 100%. So this is the reduction in the mortality rate. Still the studies are going on, and the researches and the clinical trials are going on. We have given the links in the description, that from the Yale University and from University of Aarhus, they are also doing the trials for that. And the viral entry blocker, it is potential viral entry blocker. For in 1985, the research says that from the 1985 till now in Japan, it is being used for acute pancreatitis, and from 1995 up till now, it has been used as post-operative reflux esophagitis. In post-operative reflux esophagitis. So from the researches and from the Japan studies, we have got the dose. But first we will speak about the dose of these things. That dose is 600 milligram for 3 divided doses on daily basis in acute pancreatitis. Now 3 divided doses are 200 milligram morning, 200 milligram with the meal, 200 milligram in the night or in the evening, as you say. So for the post-operative reflux esophagitis, the dose is 300 milligram in 3 divided doses, 100 milligram morning, 100 milligram with the lunch, and 100 milligram at night. And for the dose of COVID-19, it is 2.4 milligram per kilogram per day in 3 divided doses. Have you wondered that why it is written that divided doses, 3 divided doses, or you see 2 divided doses? It depends on the half-life of the medicine. Its half-life is very much low, so it eliminates from your body within 4 to 5 hours. So you have to take it in 3 divided doses so that its peak concentration in the blood remains at the maximum level after the intervals in the day. So 2.5 milligram per kg per day. For example, if a person is 100 kilogram or 70 kilogram, no, I'll be more even with the numbers because I'm not good with the math. For example, if a patient is 100 kilogram and you multiply by 2.4, it leads to 240 milligram 240 milligram per day. So if we divide it in 3 doses, so you can achieve the dosage, and it is actually a cheap drug. Means not cheap like that, it's cheap in the cost, not much expensive. It is a potential viral blocker, and I'll suggest you people, if you have access to this drug, you must use this in the clinical trials at your own place. And please be safe. I cannot focus more on the precautive measures and personal protective equipments. We have a lot of stuff to do. We have a lot of things to think. We have a lot of things to search more and provide the information to you. So keep in touch with us. We'll be back with the next video. And in the next video, we will discuss about a new thing which UK has made, Numifil. So let's wait for the Numifil to show you the things and the links that how it is doing marvelous things in the people with the infected COVID-19. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and stay there where you are. Thanks a lot.